to the finish line. Seatbelt, fast whips, got a win in mind. Hit me when I skirt off, ain't no 10 in mine. Friends keep saying slow down, should've seen the signs. Riding down the dirt road, I thought by now you forgive me. No, it's not easy forgiving. Found a new reason for living. Makes sense, making noise, all I hear them say.
Alright, so real quick, it is now Saturday. I was working on this thing last night, and we got the motor mount out of here. It would be nice if I could take the post mount out, but unfortunately the post mount has a bolt hidden under the lower cover. So where we're at right now is power steering pump is completely off. This tensioner is loose. I just gotta get a size 8, I think it is, to loosen that up so I can get the lower belt to drop a little bit. I don't need to take it out, I just need it to drop so I can get flat on access to that bolt there for sure. Valve cover is already off. It's been off since Thursday night. So we can take this guy and put it back over here. Set it down gently so we don't mess up the paint. Okay. I think I'm gonna go grab a valve cover gasket for that because we were having issues where it was leaking. I changed out the tube seals and it hasn't leaked anymore. At least I don't think it has. Yeah, as you can see where the spark plugs are, it's dry. There's no more oil in there. So those tube seals are definitely no good. Maybe that valve cover gasket, I don't know. I am gonna clean all this silicone off of here because last time I left it there. It's not really something you should do. You should probably clean it, but it was there before, so I figured it wouldn't get in the way. But go ahead and clean it off real good this time, and we'll put a new valve cover gasket on there just to make sure that we can guarantee a seal. So now we can take off this timing cover again, and then we'll go ahead and fix our. I think I already tightened the gear. That's right, I already tightened the gear, but we need to fix this. So we're gonna double check the time, and basically just retime it, tighten up that tensioner really good, and then we'll go ahead and start the car, make sure everything's good to go. Once we've confirmed everything is good to go, then we'll go ahead and put the motor mount and everything back on after we have no noises or anything, and go from there. Alright, so we're timed up. Everything is super tight now. Tensioner is tightened up. And got the AC belt tightened up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the cover on. I'm gonna keep this unbolted. We're not gonna put the belt back on there just yet. I'm just gonna kind of keep it to the side. Put the valve cover on, put the spark plug wires back on, crank her up and see how it sounds. And hopefully that's the end of the noises. Then we can just finish buttoning this thing up, take it for a drive, see if it's still doing a smoking thing. If it is, look into that, see what the issue is. If it's not, then cool, we'll just wash it up, detail it, and get it back to the customer. All right, so we got everything kind of back together just so it can start. Power steering pump, I got it chilling up here. Shouldn't move anywhere. This thing is chilling on that. So shouldn't slide over. I used to do it on my car like this all the time. This thing is missing a bracket. There's a bracket that goes here, like an L-shaped bracket where this gets bolted to, but it's not there, so. There we go, that should work better so that it doesn't hit the belt. So let's crank her up and make sure we're on neutral. Nope, on key. Alright, so the one is select. valve at? Right here in my face. Still smoking, but the smoke doesn't look white necessarily. It looks more blue. It could be just leftover residue from the from stuff that's still in the engine, but with as much as we drove it that night, it shouldn't be smoking like that. Well, this would explain the blue smoke coming out of the exhaust. Fresh, brand new 5W30 oil on the bottom of the plug. Piston rings. There we go. Now we got the light on. See that little puddle down there? It's kind of hard to focus, but you can kind of see from that angle there's a puddle down there in cylinder 3. That's going to be blow by coming through the rings. And cylinder 2, perfectly dry. I didn't show you guys cylinder 4. That's cylinder 4 right there, perfectly dry. Cylinder 1, getting blow by. I guess a good thing to do now would be to compression test it with the fresh head gasket on. See what kind of numbers we're getting. All right, so cylinder 1, you can see it's like 200. It used to be 180 before I did the head gasket. $200. And cylinder 4. Cylinder 4, 200. So we got a perfect seal all the way across with this head gasket. It kind of freaking sucks that I have to take the head off again, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, without a leak down tester over here, it's kind of hard for me to find these kind of issues. I guess a leak down tester would have told me that I was also leaking oil as well as water, but in my case, with the resources that I have available at this moment, there was really no way for me to find that out. So I fixed the head gasket issue, which is the main issue. We were getting compression into the cooling system. The hoses were getting rock solid, and unfortunately, now I did the head gasket, fixed that. We're seeing blue smoke, so we're finding out that we have a blue smoke issue. And like I said, more than likely it's gonna be piston rings, which means the head has to come off. I gotta take that radiator out. I gotta take those headers out, take off the oil pan. Basically the same thing you guys saw me do in the primered car, but this time, obviously we're doing it correctly. I'm gonna have to take the pistons out. I'm gonna have to measure these cylinders, make sure they're perfectly round all the way across, re-hone them. Hope I have enough meat on the walls to be able to re-hone and get the correct piston ring gap and everything for a stock application, and then go from there.